was pointing out. But let me get the market view here as well. Raamdeo Agrawal, Shankar Sharma, Madhu Kela also with us. Raamdeo, very quickly, CapEx, that was the big headline number that everyone was watching out for. The finance minister delivering bang on that. We are, of course, waiting to get more details on the disinvestment target, on the subsidy bill, etc. We don't have the fine print at this point in time. But your first impression of Budget 2022?
Yeah, so from a capital market point of view, two, three things. One is the corporate earnings growth. So the kind of size of the budget they're talking about, I think they're estimating a GDP of about 3.4 trillion at about 260 lakh crores. So that's quite a jumbo kind of increase in the nominal GDP, leading to 8.5% kind of a real GDP growth rate. So I think there'll be enough and more for all the sectors for them to perform, particularly financial sector, banking, credit, offtake, and so I think the stress on the credit side will come down as the growth picks up. So that's an indirect benefit to the sector, but I think banking system will benefit a lot in reduction of credit cost. Then, so my sense is that this budget could be inflationary, and that would be good for the corporate profit growth. That's what I'm seeing. And since there is no direct demand booster for any sector, I think the recovery of the lower end of the population, the K-shaped recovery impact, will be lifted only in the second half as the economy picks up. And GST of 141,000 crores for January is kind of bumper, and that makes me believe that total tax collection of 22-23 lakh crores would be an underestimate.
Fair enough. By the way, it's also one of the shortest speeches of the Finance Minister, Anand Mahindra, tweeting that this could actually be the most impactful. Madhu, this year the target is 65,000 crore, which is quite conservative. And for FY22, it's been cut to 78,000 crore from 1.75 lakh crore, which was obvious because you anyway have just about 1 month left in this fiscal, 2 months left, and not much has been done. Raamdeo, in that sense, is it slightly disappointing that this number, because considering we'll have LIC as well, so in a sense, are we assuming that perhaps BPCF won't go through, or is this going to be a bit of a disappointing factor for the market? Could this be the reason that the market's seen a bit of a decline from the high point, the divestment target?
No, I think one, that it is a more practical number. Second, the fiscal space is so big that divestment number will not be a balancing number. I mean, like 2 lakhs, 2.5 lakhs. They used to do it because that used to becoming the balancing number. This time the fiscal space is so good, the 6.4% fiscal deficit. I think they have gone about putting a number which can be achieved. And I hope this is not including the LIC which will go through in the current year. So next year it will be no LIC, but normal divestment should happen. And 65,000 crore looks okay. I mean, it should be achievable. That's what I think. And I don't think market, in fact, market should get a lot of confidence that rest of the numbers are very good, because this kind of funny numbers are not there, which is not achievable. So this is an achievable number. So I don't think...
I just wanted to tell you that this year itself, the RE for divestment has been brought down to 78,000 crores.
That's what I said. So,
and next year as well, it's only...
Well, that's the FY23 gross tax revenue target at 27.58 lakh crore rupees on your screens. Corporate tax, just take a look at that, 7.2 lakh crores versus 3.65 lakh crores. And I think a valid point being made there by Madhu that, they have been more pragmatic, more realistic as far as numbers are concerned, and even as far as disinvestment. I mean, you can put whatever target you want, but if you consistently are underachieving that, then those targets have no value. So I think that point has been taken care of as far as disinvestment is concerned. But Raamdeo and Madhu, I want to come back to the two of you now. In light of what we've seen the finance minister deliver, both for growth as well as recovery, Raamdeo, I'll start by asking you, where do you really see the markets in the short term, and which will be the sectors to bet on?
Clearly, this banking system will get good support in terms of lower credit cost and hopefully good credit offtake. So that sector remains one leader. Second, I think export-oriented, there is a lot of support on global demand on the PLI export and individual companies you have to see. But I think that could be one where one can find some ideas. So particularly budget is not giving any new thrust to a particular company. But I think in general, I think if you have 8.5% growth, there will be enough for all the corporates, well-run corporates. And my sense is that K-shaped recovery, where consolidation is still on, that will further accentuate as we go forward till the end of the. So I would still remain with the companies which are winners of last 12 months into the next 12 months.
Raamdeo, when we spoke a few days earlier, you were sounding very cautious on direction for the market. You said, well, things are looking much more adversarial. Does this budget do anything to sort of provide a buffer, cushion? I mean, a huge infra push, something which stock markets at least always like. Or you think it's not enough? And I mean, the bigger overlay is global, and that is hostile.
Yeah, so that global inflation fear still remains, and Indian budget is too small for that to address. So I think the fear coming from global inflation, and even in India, I think post-budget, for some reason, the yields are spiking big time. So I think the concern is coming from the yield spike on the bond side, and that inflationary, the fear of inflation still remains, as a major concern in the minds of market people.
Madhu Kela, Taimur Beg, once again from all of us here, we really appreciate your patience. I know it is trying to keep you all waiting, but apologies from all of us here. These are situations out of our control because we don't know what time the speech will end, but thank you so much for joining us, and once again, we appreciate your patience and appreciate your time. We've also got with us